Hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts. Come and get them hot facts. Get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts. Come and get them hot facts. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts. Robert Reese. Hot facts. Hot facts. Robert Reese. Hot facts. Gig economy. Robert Reese. News channel. Gig economy. News channel. Hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts. 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 Hey. With Robert Reese.
People, woo! First of all, I want to welcome all you guys to Hot Facts with Robert Reese. This is going to be a very, 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 and if you were born in the 80s like me, when Gummy Bears was out, the actual cartoon, Gummy Bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. If you know that theme song right there, then this is going to be very, 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 very great. Not good. We go from good to great. If you have read books, you know from going from good to great. The O'Malley was excellent. You did a great job, Jeff Thomas Black. The O'Malley was excellent. I hope a lot of you guys did open up yourselves. You'll learn a little bit of hot facts about hot facts. I actually love what Jeff Thomas Black did. He actually read the O'Malley there. And for those of you who were tuning in to not knowing what was going on, I'm going to get to that right after this. You are watching Hot Facts with Robert Reese, the official news channel of the gig economy. What's up, Matthew? What's up? Woo, people, if you don't know, this is the official news channel. This is the official news channel. As you see, we're going to be going over a customer deserves a slap. Pedro DoorDash Santiago put up a video that was very, very controversial. I am going to be the person to break the whole thing down from sides of the person that was there and sides of the driver. We know that here on Hot Facts, we do everything, okay? We do everything. Side A, side B, and side C, we talk about together. So we are going to do that again right now. If you are brand new, when you watch Hot Facts with Robert Reese, that is what you're going to get. We sit and watch whatever parties are involved. We break it down, we analyze, and then we use that information to help everybody else out there. It is not to keep it in and hold it in for yourself. This is why it's called Hot Facts. And in case you did not know, Hot Facts stands for the truth behind what you stand for. Now, I'm getting ready to do this live before I do my Walmart Spark. I've been doing an experiment on Walmart Spark, and someone asked me a question in my community post, and I'll be able to answer that during this live because, man, we just go help everybody out. We just go help everybody out today. The beginning of this live, as you heard, the slap heard around the world that Pedro did. We'll also talk about UDM because Jeff Thomas Black was on UDM's channel, and he broke down some things, and then UDM had his live this morning for us on the West Coast, 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. You are not going to get anybody pretty much on the West Coast to attend that because it's 10 a.m. your time. We were doing things in the morning time, but that's why this live right now is dedicated to us here on the West Coast, so we can have a reaction and respond with that. Marquise Houston, what's up? I'm right here. Let me say Marquise because you know if I mispronounce a black name, I'm gonna get slapped in the face. Also during this live, there's much more. We're gonna talk about a moral victory and a victory that will bring people together that happened a couple of days ago. One with by the guy by the name of Ricky Knight. He stood his ground and held his ground. I will be speaking about that, and you guys are like, what you talking about? I will be letting you guys know about that. Okay, but I want to start off like this. All right. I have a link there. I'll let you know when you can click the link and when you can go ahead and participate in the live and clicking the link. I think the more people that will listen to what is going on is going to help more people out there. Let's start off with this slap heard around the world that this customer so-called deserved. You guys see my thumbnail. It's got Pedro there. Okay. It's got Pedro there. It's got the Instacart order. You see it says 200 and something items, which means that you as the driver have to accept that, which means he was doing it for content, which means he was playing away to go ahead and get you guys to watch that thing right there. But we're going to break this down. I'm not going to show that trash video on Hot Facts, which is why that trash can is there. I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to react to it. I got the whole thing in my head. He's going nuts. He's going nuts at first. Then he's doing his thing. Then at the end, he goes back in to talk about it, right? Here is what you got to understand here. Pedro DoorDash Santiago said he got an order that was for like $18 or something else like that. It was only going 1.9 miles, which means that if you are a new driver and you are trying to get information on what you should do and what you should not do, you should not just accept the order just off of UC dollars and miles. There's dollars, miles, and then there's dollars to time. You have to understand that wherever you are. Dollars to miles and dollars to time. Those are two separate variables that come in together to make one thing complete. So let's go ahead and break this down. Mr. Bet on You said he got the order. He didn't realize it was that many items, but when you accept it, you get to see how many items it is. So he lied to you guys in the masses off the top right there from the jump. He goes and shops for the items. He says it took him a little time, but it was only going 1.9 miles. So he was actually able to go ahead, which he thought was just drop it off all the way. Now, he said this customer was trash and this customer needs a slap. Well, let's go ahead and break down who this customer actually is. That is one part that he did not tell you guys. In order to understand the whole situation at hand on what was going down, you cannot break down, come up with your own idea about this and that if you don't understand what was going down. Let me tell you this. He said he dropped off to an apartment complex, right? That is what he said. We don't even have to just go against that. He dropped off to an apartment complex. He then said when he got there, okay, because it was the address of the complex itself, right? It was the address of the complex itself. That's it. It wasn't no apartment number, no anything else like that. So Pedro goes ahead and gets there. Pedro goes ahead and gets there, right? The gentleman that meets him says that, okay, I'm going to need you to drop it off at 4 different locations. How many people do you know when they go move into an apartment, they rent 4 apartments at one time? That was not a regular customer, which he failed to break down to you guys. That was not a regular customer, and we're going to get deeper into that. Okay. Thank you, Jeff Thomas Black, for getting into more of this, because a lot of people think you're talking about just the driverlet level. You're speaking about the heads that control, and they are so stuck in one realm, they can't fathom what you are saying. So that's why Pedro spoke to these people just like this. That was not a regular customer, everyone. Okay, that was one of the management of the property. They ordered 200 and something items, and all those bottled waters is because they are replenishing their apartment complex in the other areas. Now, here's what you got to understand, that he was not a regular customer. the the person that is paying the bill is the company itself, not the individual person. The company wants to mitigate costs and not spend extra. So why would they spend extra on a tip when they can keep that for themselves, for that little vacation, and all the money they keep that they don't go out there and do? They keep that for themselves for their own vacation time. He did not tell you that that was not a regular customer. That was property management. The company ordered a large order from Instacart to have it go in there. Now, the gentleman, because he is corporate at that apartment complex, he was expecting Pedro to just be a regular driver and say, well, just do it like me, Aaron boy. That's the other part of the actual customer that you guys don't understand. He don't care about the driver. He don't care about anything. His goal is to make as much money off the people that live in the apartment complex as much as possible. But we will give them water and snacks when they go into this break room. This break room, they got a lounge here. The pool room is here. He wants to make sure that the amenities are there for the people that are paying them way more money than you. He will put more money into that because they will get more back. That's why they raise the rent. Those people are not going to move from where they are. Okay, you are just the driver to him, Pedro. You have to break this stuff down, and when you don't do it right, it will appear on Hot Facts. He was operating under the business title. Now, why would he? Okay, why would this gentleman right here take money out of his own pocket when he's using the money from the business, and he's not even using the money? He's just making sure the order getting there. Whoever is over the treasury, and whoever is over the spending, the CFO, that is the person there in charge of, and whoever books the orders, they booked the order. His job was to make sure the order got there and it went to these 4 locations. He is not a regular customer, and he is not going to take money out of his own pocket if the business is not going to do that for him, which is why these drivers are getting mad at DoorDash. Why should we be doing all this stuff if they ain't going to be giving us no extra? You got to break this down to the people and the masses out there. When you go out there and say that this customer deserves a slap, you deserve a slap for not even understanding. And if you did, this is more foul play and fraud on your end, because that's what you do. Everyone does know that he is not monetized for committing fraud. Fraud. He stole from TikTok and other creators to generate money for himself. So why would he not, since he's not monetized, come up with a title and an angle, make it seem like this happened? I spent my time doing something that I should not have done, when he pick and chose to do that for content to keep him relevant for himself. That's what it was. That was not a regular customer. That was a business doing things with the business. If you know you do curry or whatever else it is, some roadie stuff, or you pick up from one store and drop off to another one, that's business to business. Ain't no tips in those. When you're doing the Uber Eats or DoorDash, you're picking up from like AutoZones and you're taking it to somewhere. You're picking that up and taking it to an auto shop. The auto shop is not giving you a tip because you're the driver. That's not what they are doing. That was a business to business transaction, and he failed to bring that out to you guys to let you guys understand. Now, here is one thing that he said that did not make any sense. He said if he ever sees that address again, he's never going back. Now, we can all imagine that there are maybe over 300 different apartments inside that place. Why would he say he's not going back to the place where there's 300 apartments, which means there's 300 chances for him to make money to go drop off to a regular resident? Why would he not want to go back? Why would he ban an address for just one place because of that? You don't do that. You are throwing your money away. That's why it says out there, are drivers hurting their own gain? You got to think about that. If he said he's not going back and there's 300 something apartments inside that complex, why would you take the risk and say, I'm not going to make money on any other 300 here? He just told you guys to not go to an area that he delivers in, and if you watch his content, he don't want you to go over there. He gave you some parts of the address in the video so you can figure out, if I'm around there, I'm not going back there either. But he did see that that was a large order. He got paid his money, and that's how it went down. He did not break that down to the regular people that watch the content out there. And he should have, because he had all you guys that think you have experience. He left all you guys hanging. He left all you guys hanging. Yeah, a lot of you guys left right now because I'm keeping it way real. A lot of you guys were like, oh, wow. Yeah, he does deserve a slap. Well, we didn't realize it was corporate and business doing business with big business. We didn't even realize that. Well, people, now you know that was not even a regular customer, man. That was not even a regular customer. That was not a regular customer. Gee whiz. That's crazy right there, Pedro DoorDash Santiago. Now, let's shy away from that. I don't want to spend too much time on that. When I say you can click the link, if anyone wants to click the link and talk about that, then you can. Let's get to UDM. All right. While Jeff Thomas Black was on UDM's show, a lot of you guys understand he was breaking things down, and some things were said that enlightened me a whole lot. Now, that looked like the guy Ron that used to be Sin City's boy up there. It looked like Ron. I'm gonna bring something out to you, whoever that person was. When UDM spoke about the acceptance rate and going from this and that and being 70%, that person said live on UDM show that the people doing it the old way, they're not going to understand. You got to start doing it the new way. Well, don't you understand that when I came into this game, I was telling you guys to do it exactly the way what you guys say the new way is, and I was chastised. I was beaten with whips. They were throwing rocks and stones at me. I'm walking down the street, they're throwing tomatoes at me. You guys told me, why do you want your acceptance rate high and everything else like that? When I told you guys that the higher your acceptance rate, let's say if your acceptance rate is at 100%, you have 30% to play with so you can deny orders, not use a glitch. I was teaching you guys that before the pandemic, everything was meet at door. Everything was on your business and your acceptance rate because you were meeting customers. I've been driving since the end of 2014, the first month, like 2015, people. I've been driving before a whole lot of the people that you even listen to. And when I came in the game, they all said, what are you talking about? Why are you saying these things? Why are you trying to get us to change? Why are you putting motivational videos up about change and adaptation to business and how you run your thing? Because I'm telling you guys what was going to happen. And since you guys were so stuck in the no tip, no trip and the COVID era, you guys were like, no, it's never going to change. I'm the person that came on in and told you guys that because of Amazon and companies like Harbor Freight, the DTC, direct to customer, when they go ahead and pick and drivers come to the warehouses and drive them off, I told you guys that every other place is going to be doing it like that. I told you guys that places like Walmart have set up subdivision little buildings so drivers can just go pick up the produce, pick up the packages, and drive them off. Everything is there. I told you America is moving into picking, just like the warehouse. I told you guys that. And your business on how you are operating your own thing with your acceptance rate says how many opportunities and how many high paying opportunities you will receive. A lot of you guys are slapping yourself in the face right now and saying, damn, HotFacts is keeping it way real. He has been saying this the whole time. He's never let up, slid back, or anything. I've been in arguments with a whole bunch. I've been on UDM's chat channel. When I broke down, I said, here's another thing. When you see an order, okay, when you see an order and you accept the order, you accepted the order for the dollars that you saw the order come up at. That's what you did. You cannot complain about anything else like that. That's not what I do. If I accepted the order, I accepted it because it might be driving me to an area to where I'm going to go make the money, right? Or that is an order I need to make sure I hit my $35 an hour. It's only going right around the block, so I'm going to go ahead and get that. I've been telling you guys that. I've been saying the different programs and the orders you get. I've been doing live ride-alongs with my wife so that you guys can see. That's why I got so mad at the rideshare hustler when him saying you cannot make $30 an hour, and and we're gonna get into that. We're going to get in that, but you can. But on UDM's thing, UDM is telling people, well, I can tell you a difference of the orders. The only difference he said was from 70 to 100, it's all the same, but I've never been to 100. It's not the same. If you are at 88 to 90 to 95, it is much different from someone at 70. It's just like if you were going to apply for that city job. They put you in the job based upon the score that you had on that test that you took. That's how it is. And it's been like that. It's been like that. People have been commenting me on my wife's orders, saying like that's not, no, that's exactly what it is. The acceptance rate is so high. Shopping program, pizza program, large orders, all those happen on one phone. They happen on one phone. So it's very, very possible. So our drivers hurting their own gain. Think about that. Well, UDM spoke about that, and he said, your rate is going higher. He said, I'm not trying to tell you what to do because of where you live and your market and everything else like that, but I'm telling you that it does work. It does work. DoorDash, Deep, the dispatch red system. It says it there. A lot of you guys ignore that. It is there. It's actual factual. They put that there. You guys don't want to believe it. You want to believe people like Pedro and people that throw little sly stuff out there to make you not want to do what you were supposed to do. Now, someone in Kentucky, someone in Idaho, someone in Indiana, someone in Nebraska, they are different from everyone else. You got to understand the cost of living is different everywhere else. Every app don't work for everyone. I know that's cliche. I know it's cliche, but we're going to get into that right now because Jeff Thomas Black was on UDM and he was breaking some things down. And UDM did what Torp did, what I said about Roy, Real Talk with Roy. UDM asked Jeff Thomas Black if he was a dasher. Jeff Thomas Black said, I have 5,000, like 200 and something deliveries. He said, I stopped doing deliveries when he had his car issues because he's in Indiana in the sticks. The deliveries are not the same there. He said when that happened, he stopped dashing, and that's what he used for the intel in his book to teach you drivers, especially what can happen where he is. A lot of you guys didn't pick up on that. He's writing a book to teach that's not just for dashers, it's for a lot of people out there. The DoorDash drivers and the dashers and everybody else out there are like the last ones to read the book. He's got an MBA. He's got an MBA from Duke. He has a PhD. So whenever I hear people like Flex make fun of him, and he was shooting on you guys so cold. Oh, he killed Cherry Pick. He killed Bobby, and I hope you got my gift for you about Cherry Pick. He went on UDM's. He shut it down because they weren't understanding what he was talking about the app slave. There are app slaves out there. And when he said on his own thing, he was upset that UDM did not understand slavery and why it was bad. App slaves on these apps who watch the gig tube, they're watching people who are making them app slaves. If you did not understand the malice, you did not understand that they got the people up there and walking around and glamour and everything else, like Big Brother watching you and all that stuff. They are doing that to gain their masses. Pedro, that's why they say evangelical. I don't even think William Anderson understood why he really used it, but thank you, Jeff Thomas Black, for bringing that out. Because there's people like me that understand the vernacular on how you're bringing all of your words out. You got to understand his cadence and everything else on how he does his thing. You got to understand. You got to understand. He's breaking it down to you. UDM was getting mad at him because of the way he's coming across. That's his education coming across. You can't get mad because I fully understand what he's talking about. You got app slaves out there. Pedro just told a bunch of drivers in this area to avoid going to that apartment complex. Just think about that. He gave majority of the address out. And in videos, he says, oh, this driver, I know this driver, he connects. And the drivers watch him. He just told drivers to stay away from a complex if they're doing Instacart. He can now take all the money there. You got app slaves out there that will be slave to a master. And Jeff Thomas Black, I'm going to give you a great one because you said you had slaves in the house who got better treatment than the slaves on the outside. People, this is a white dude with the education talking about the Uncle Toms and the house niggas and the labor outside who are getting whipped and beat because they are told to. The house nigga that's getting all the food that he's good to eat from the white man, he's eating that and then putting all the demand and everything that the white man telling him, the reparations he's telling to the slave on the outside. So now they are slaving to this dude, not just that person. There are app slaves out there. There are people out there that live in areas where they cannot make the money that you want to make because majority want to be on DoorDash. Scratch that DoorDash stuff. Let's break this down right now. And I wish people like UDM would talk about this. Now UDM was talking about, on Deliver That or Delivered. There was you got paid for waiting time. They took that from Postmates. When Postmates first started off, I was one of the original drivers on Postmates. You got paid for your waiting time and it maxed out at $5. So if it went past 20 minutes, you got paid $5 extra. That's what it was. Okay. So they have that. Now, when UDM was talking to the old boy and he said, would you do things to take advantage if it was going to help you as long as you don't tell anyone? Here is something that UDM did not tell the people, which if I was up, I would have clicked the link because we got to keep this way real and clear. UDM told people on his own video, he was doing a delivery with Easy Cater or Delivered, one of the two, and he booked one with Delivered That. They are the same company. So when he went there to pick him up, he was denied because that was cheating. So when he did that, he was showing you guys that he was willing to cheat to get 2 orders of catering orders and drop them off at the same time. Maybe get up there, do a video and said, hey, people, I did 2 orders on catering in about an hour and some change, and I made $175. That's what he was going to do. The great thing about what he did was he said it in the video, and only some people caught on to that. Not only does he know about the glitch, or he knew about the glitch. Okay, now let's talk about these glitches. They had the glitch before with the old system where if you did not update, you can see what it was going to be because that's how it used to be. That wasn't a glitch. That was just you holding on to the old system until your phone made you get a new phone to where you were going to have to update because your phone, that's letting you know that your phone's outdated also. That's all it is. So they're going to keep you like Jeff Thomas Black said, as the app slave, make you update that phone to get that. That cancels that out. That's not a glitch. This glitch with the acceptance rate is no fun and no fair because people are literally, if there's something, UDM, you touched on this, if there is something that is really wrong with your phone, customer support will tell you to hit the 4th stop and then wait and then let them try to send you an order. Now, if you realize that your acceptance rate went up, okay, if you realize that your acceptance rate went up, you're going to try that again, which makes a glitch. Now, UDM also said this. He said, and someone up there on his his live this morning said, well, you already know if something is popular, someone's going to tell someone. 2 people told Pedro and Pedro told 4. So you already know that's a true statement just off of that. And Pedro said that out of his own mouth. Okay, out of his own mouth. He told 4. Now, when you notice that your acceptance rate is not going down, you'll try that 4th stop again for yourself. Man, my acceptance rate can keep going high and I ain't got to do nothing. Now, what if you did not do any orders at all and you just sat there all day just doing a glitch to make your acceptance rate go up? Then you say, hey, I'm about to go ahead and get these orders that they are going to give to me because of this. Now, that's cheating right there. Now, the only thing other like that's the outside of that is you got people that work and get up there to get that stuff. They've worked themselves to get their ratings up, their numbers up, and then they're a part of all the programs. Your acceptance rate is just high, which meaning that any offer that's not in one of the main programs that's there, you are taking all the other orders away from everybody else like it's hungry, hungry hippo. That's exactly what you're doing when you use that glitch. Now, if you know about that and you don't tell anyone, is it right? That is for you to decide yourself. But if you go pass it around to other people who are making it seem like when they're doing these videos, now we all remember when Pedro was saying, well, I'm going to try to get top that dasher, and all of a sudden he was top dasher in like a week. How was he doing that? He was using that. So when I asked you guys that poll question on my channel, on my community post, is Pedro capable of doing these things? All of you guys that said no, it's the actual truth, which means that you guys are app slaves. If whoever said no, you are an app slave to him. You will go to war and die with this dude when he's leading you to jump off the cliff, but he ain't gonna jump. He gonna stand there. He gonna stand there with his huge pitchfork and say, "Who's with me?" And then, if you're with me, jump. Everybody go jump. How come he gonna be the last one standing up, looking at everybody jump? That's exactly what it is. The O'Malley's. Y'all should have paid attention to that. You should have paid attention to that. You should have paid attention to that. All right. There's glitches in everything. Some glitches they put there. So look, remember the movie Hackers back in the day? It was their mission to get this big company and do their thing. The movie Hackers. I'm showing my age, people. I'm showing my age. The businesses put things out there so hackers can, they're fishing. They're throwing bait out there to see who jumps on what. Then they can figure out who's hacking in and doing some wrong stuff. Now, what my wife says is, why would these people be doing this if they know that the AI is their boss? The AI is not a human. The AI is keeping track of everything mathematical. Now, Jeff Thomas Black, let me introduce you to this. What if Pedro signed up to have the Neuralink? What if Pedro signed up to be a participant in the Neuralink? Whoever don't know about the Neuralink, just go ahead and check that up, people. I don't mean to go into everything that I know, but at sometimes you guys got to understand when you're coming to hot facts, you got to get the hot facts. All right? There's glitches everywhere. Companies put the glitches out so that they can fish. Now, when they see that something is going haywire, people are gaining the most, they'll go ahead, fix that glitch to patch it up, then throw a different version out to see who's jumping to it. You might think you're doing something good right now, but that deactivation is going to come because the AI is keeping track of your pattern. It's not a human. Understand that. This next segment right here is for the rideshare hustler. Babe, community post, please. Go to my community post. I documented her hours on DoorDash yesterday. A lot of you guys are like, well, why'd you do that? Hot facts is the news, right? I'm in Riverside County. I drove 50-something miles to go to Orange County, where Disneyland, where Irvine is. I live there also. I drove there. We drove out there, did orders, and it was $25 an hour, but we had to stop early. We stopped like 15 minutes early because we had to go run errands. She would have hit the $30 an hour there. That's without Prop 22, people. That's a separate county line. I then come back to this county. Say, all right. Now, watch this. First hour, okay? First hour in DoorDash was $29 and some change, okay? For 1 hour and like 3 minutes of dash time, active time, 50-something minutes there, $29.72, okay? Check this out. The first order she received of the second hour starting was a $24 order. that was going what was it, 10 miles, $24 for 10 miles, right? So no matter what, that was going to be $24 as the bottom line for an hour, right? Now check this out. Her second hour, okay, her second hour was $29.25. Active time 44 minutes. Dash time 1 hour 7 minutes. That's $30 right there, okay? That was for the second hour. That's just at the $30, right? Rideshare hustler, you're a liar. Okay. You can now, what you can do, rideshare hustler. Why don't you do Riverside County to LA County, since they connect also on the other end? I did this end, you can do the other end, and we can put 4 parts together and come with the real numbers. I challenge you for that. Okay. Her third hour, it slowed down. Okay. Here's how it slowed down: 41 minutes of active time, 1 hour, 3 minutes of dash time, $25, 41 minutes. Okay. Her last hour was like at $23. And then after that, we were just cherry picking whichever were the ones she wanted to do. Her acceptance rate is so high, that's why we have it that high, so that once you get to where you got to get, you're 30 to 35 bucks an hour. After that, now you can cherry pick the orders, because you can now decline orders because your acceptance rate is so high. So now you're not slaving to get it. Okay. You know what you can get every hour because of the programs that she is and her ratings. Okay. These are all of my community posts. Now, I'm doing an experiment on Walmart Spark. For those of you listening, pay attention to this. I'm not doing any orders anymore for this experiment where I pick up at the bay. Not doing them anymore. Someone will say, why? We got lazy drivers out there who don't want to shop. Here's what I'm talking about. We have places in America where people live in the boonies and in the sticks, where the majority of the orders are not going to be food orders from DoorDash or Uber Eats or Grubhub. It's going to be the shopping orders, picking up hay, picking up dog food, picking up lumber, doing things like that. They're going to make way more money doing that. But some people don't want to invest in a truck or even go rent one to go ahead and do that. They're going to have more orders like that. So in my area, my experiment on Walmart Spark, I am only doing shopping orders inside the place. This order I took, check this out, people. Yesterday, I did $82 on Walmart Spark. Okay. I drove 16 total miles for $82 on Walmart Spark. Why? I was able to go into the store, shop, not wait for the people picking slow, talking in the aisles to bring it out to your car. Then that makes your time slower. How do you maximize and make more? Or drivers hurting their own game. I realize that there. I'm not doing any more of the bay pickups, only shopping orders, okay? This order right here, $25.43, 3.9 miles, okay? The order before that one was $17 and like 21 cents, and that one was 5 miles. The one before that was $18 and like 80 something cents, and that one was 3.9 miles. The one before that was $21.55, and that was for 4 miles. I drove 82. I got $82 for going 16 miles. Now, if there is anyone out there trying to tell people dollars to miles, now me going in and shopping for the orders, the most items I ever had in one of the orders was 11 items. Everything was 7, 5, 6, 6 items, just like that, in there and out. So my time in going in to shop and coming back, when I got back, I was able to cherry pick and just reject all of the ones that wanted me to pick them up at the bay. I was only looking for shopping orders so I can spend my time in there faster, stay right around the block, and make that money all in its own by itself. Someone said, well, you got to drive back to the Walmart then. Okay, well, if I got to drive back, 16 and 16 is 32. Would someone take $82 for 32 miles? Answer that question right there. I'm still winning. Necro, I don't consider, see, this comment from Necro right here, and you put a question mark with the laughing thing. This is, I'm not talking about being the best driver. I'm explaining what other apps are out there for drivers in other areas so they can utilize these apps. Flex, utilizers. They can go ahead and utilize these apps for themselves. Everyone can't use DoorDash. I'm showing you that $30 an hour is very, very possible. I went to 2 separate counties to prove that for you guys. And check this out. In California, nothing in Prop 22 is put in there. Now, my wife told me, she was watching a live, and someone said, well, what about the cost of living? Do they get Prop 22 in California because of the cost of living? That was something that we fought for, so it's there. Prop 22 comes every week on Monday. That's not included in your deliveries. So that $30 an hour now jumps up. That $30 now jumps up to a minimum of $37 an hour to $42 an hour in California. That's how it works. That's how it works. You guys need something like this in your state. Now, Necro, I'm not saying I'm the best driver. The information that I am putting out is the best information right now to go alongside with Jeff Thomas Black, to go alongside with the DoorDash revolution, to go alongside with Dad Dash because he is on the business side of operating yourself right, to go alongside of Thomas Schubeck-Industries, to go alongside of some of the things that UDM brings out because he brings out some positives. He brings out some pros. This goes along with some of the things Rideshare Rodeo has said and that he likes. Some of the things. But it takes all these people out here in this gig space. Uber Jeep AZ keeps it way real for you guys. It takes all of this stuff to get inside there to bring it out. It just so happens that from day one, I came in like that. Now, Necro says, what's your advice for people on waiting lists on Spark? You just got to be on the waiting list. You can try again. You can make another email address. And if you have a family plan phone, and let's say you want to open up another line on your own thing, if you want to get another email address and sign up again to see if the waiting process is still the same, then it's still the same. You just have to wait. Don't just don't put all your eggs in one basket on Spark. Don't put all your eggs in one basket on Roadie, on Point Pickup, on DoorDash, on Uber Eats, on medical delivery. Don't do that. Now, UDM said something that me and Revolution have been doing and talking about for a long time. This is how I know you guys been watching us. I have done many videos where I have said, how many of you guys look at the signs on the places you're picking up from to see if it says catering, to see if you can actually get a catering job with them and pick up orders? I have said that. Now, UDM says, how many of you guys have done that? That's a big thing right there. A lot of you guys don't do that because in order to go into one business to do that, this is where Dad Dash comes into play. This is where I come into play as a sales director, face-to-face direct marketing, business-to-business sales, consultations, anything you need. That's what I specialize in. Future interest, need, and desire. Okay, you gotta know how many people you're approaching, and your contacts and your closes and all of that. Okay, you gotta have that. A lot of people and drivers don't have the skills to walk up and do business to business sales. Do you know how you go to a store and there's a vendor and he's trying to get his product inside that store? They have to go business to business, put their presentation out and sell that to that place so it can be in there. A lot of you guys don't have that skill set. So a lot of you guys are going to say no. Now, this is something that we can work on. If anybody wants to do any type of role playing, I mean live role playing, Not one content creator has said you can do live role playing. We can do live role playing. We can have someone throw a question out there. I'll look at the scenario. I'll read the scenario, and then we'll go from there. One person can be one person, one can be the other, one person can be the one throwing out objectives and everything else like that. And you have to overcome those objectives. You have to do that. We can actually do that here on Hot Facts. If you want to learn how to go and talk to a business, to put yourself inside there, because it might be slower where you are. That was a good point that UDM has brought up, but to say that it's not being talked about in the gig world, that's all we've been talking about on Team Hot Facts from the jump. All right, we can do that. Now, before we get into the link being open, we're at 45 minutes, people. I like when I get people up inside here. They like to sit and listen to the information. And thank you, everyone. Did another video yesterday. It gave me 14,000 views yesterday. In the last 48 hours, I hit 20K in the last 48 hours. Did that again. I have several videos right now that are in rotation still. So they're doing about 2,000 views a day. I want to thank everyone that watches and supports Hot Facts, because those numbers cannot exist unless you guys watch. Okay. And it is what it is. All right. It is what it is. If you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe now. If you want some real information, go ahead and check out Jeff Thomas Black. Go ahead and check out the DoorDash Revolution. Check out Dad Dash. Check out everybody out there. Check out Torp. He is unfiltered. He gets it in. Check out Uber Jeep AZ. Check out some things that UDM has to say. Ain't no haterade here. Ain't no haterade here. If you want to learn what not to do, check out Pedro. If you want to learn how, like Dashing Trader now says, that he doesn't want the cursing on his channel because he wants to make the more money. Remember when I told you guys about the green signs on your thing? He wants that. Make sure you tune in to everyone out there. Chemtech Randomness is a science person. Tune in there. If you guys want to learn just a few other things, you can tap in the rideshare rodeo about state legislation and things like that. See how that might give you some questions that you can ask the legislation and things in your area. There's always something to gain from all this stuff. Now, I want to get into this before we open up that link. We're at 45 minutes, people, and we've been going nonstop. Ricky Knight, man, I'm going to give you a shout out. People, remember when I said that there's only a certain amount of us black folks that do content and appear on channels and talk? There was a time when Ricky Knight was trying to appear on Pedro's thing and couldn't get up there. He said I can go on Flexes. When Flex denied Ricky Knight and the rideshare hustler to have that discussion about the politics and the things in the black community and everything else like that, how it ties into white people, Flex got mad and said we don't do that here. Well, just the other day, and I did a screen recording of all 3 minutes and 7 seconds of what Ricky Knight was speaking about. Flex did not interrupt him when he was going off of the issues with the black and the white and on how you can make money and all that stuff. He broke it down. And Flex said, as long as you're not Robert Reese, Ricky Knight blew him off, gave him a sarcastic, like, nah, man, he already said it's only 10 of us. We got to stick together. This is where you don't interfere with this right here. He brushed off Flex and said, just like Robert Reese said, I'm in East Texas. There's a lot of white people here. You don't understand that the demographics on the communities that where you live, that affects your pay. Jeff Thomas Black spoke about that, okay? He spoke about that also, and that's a white dude, man. He spoke about it, and he made it very clear also. I'm glad he did that. A lot of you guys thought I was crazy when I'm telling you guys you got to understand the demographics on where you live. Economically, socially, ethnically, gender-wise, all that stuff counts to how you make money. How you are able to be a chameleon plays a big part in how you make that happen. Okay? I was so glad Jeff Thomas Black spoke about that. But Ricky Knight got 3 minutes off. He got 3 minutes off. And when he got his 3 minutes off, Flex got up and left the screen, maybe because he didn't want to hear that. But Ricky Knight did not say, I'm stopping. He went through, and I'm giving you a salute because not only did you stick up and stand up, you said what you had to say. So, man, that was that. That was that right there. That was a big moment. That was a big moment. That was a big moment right there of sticking together. No matter what anybody was going to say, there was a different, and people see this is a different community. There's a different community. All right. Now, one more thing. I know I said that once. One more thing. I'm gonna get on this cray thing just real fast and just end it just nip it in the bud. I guess she was in the chat saying she has receipts. You do know that the very first time I had an interaction with Wealthy was in the chat section of the Glitchgate, and he didn't know who I was, and he joined in the reindeer games, and he was talking crap. And then after that, me and him, as two men, younger dude to an older dude, we actually hashed that out on his own chat. When you were trying to make up things, he was reading the comments off, going back and forth. And because me and him already worked that out. So when you try to make up something, just make sure that you know you have to try to go back to before he even knew who I was, what he was saying in the chat, how I checked him on it. And if you say, well, you called him Larry Bird's grandson. Yes, I said that when I checked him. Yes, I said that when I checked him. You're absolutely right. But we went over and got over all of that. That's why I've been going in his chat saying good morning. Hello, how are you? There's no hard feelings. He just did not know who I was, and he joined in the reindeer games as what people would call an app slave. People that are app slaves will go ahead and join in without having their own mind. Once he figured out he's a Christian, dang, he's conservative, dang, he speaks about all this stuff that I do. Why do I not like this guy? Well, he chose to not be an app slave and follow you guys to jump off that cliff. So if you got anything more than that, gladly go ahead and put it up, because I'm about to put up this link. The link is already there. I would really like to hear if Jeff Thomas Black is there. I would really like to hear from him if he would click the link. I would like to hear from Thomas Schubeck-Industries if he is there, if he wants to click the link, if anyone wants to click the link. But, you know, if those people are still in the chat, I would love for them to click the link. Just have a few questions, and that's it. I'm going to go ahead and sit right here and then go ahead and wait. If anyone wants to click the link, if you feel that the information was positive and you learned something, and you want to be able to ask a question about your region, your area, what you see out there, you want to get a better understanding, go ahead and click the link. Don't just be a person that just sits there and just guesses the whole time. Necro, you can also click the link. You ain't got to tell nobody else. You can also click the link also. Don't be afraid now, people. It's hot facts. I know it is. It's hot facts. I know it is. But as you see, people, the information and how we put this out here, this is how it is. This is how it is. Okay? Make sure you think for yourself, though. Make sure you think for yourself. Pedro led you guys wrong and thinking I was a regular customer when it was a business and everything else like that. And man, people, you got to pay attention to some of these things. I'm gonna just sit. Somebody got to look out of all of the look. You know why no one is gonna try to click the link? Because of the information that came out was helpful and useful. If I came up here talking bad about people and cursing them out, someone would have said, man, I got to say something back. But you can't when it's real. Oh, and one more big ups to UDM for asking Jeff Thomas Black if he's a dasher and does he still drive? Because that's the same question people have been asking Real Talk with Roy. And I'm glad that you did that. I'm glad you did that because it tied in everything. You were saying that, well, if you're not driving, then what you're saying don't make sense. Oh, I gotta respond to a comment. Somebody said in my comment section when I talked about Roy not being able to log in, he said the red zone pops up all the time. It can pop up, but like Roy says, I do 2-3 orders maybe a month. It's gonna be black the whole time until it's very very busy late at night, like 12 1 a.m. And he has to be up late night driving, but he does late night streams. He's not doing that, and he would have to be a top dasher. So I hope you understand that. What's up, DoorDash Revolution? I hope you understand that. To make sure it's getting going. Rev, if you are there, Rev, go ahead and click the link if you can. I got a few questions for you. Um, Also, Rev, I got a few for you, but I really wish Jeff Thomas Black would get on, and Thomas Schubeck-Industries. I really wish one of you guys would click the link. Um, I'll talk about this about the glitch that Thomas has put it out there. Remember, I said, what if someone is just using the glitch just to get their acceptance rate high? Um, I would like to know if Thomas Schubeck-Industries is going to do, if he is going to do an experiment to see how much money he's going to make on the order he gets after he uses the glitch, and if he is going to download the driver utility helper app so that he really can cherry pick the order after the glitch happens to see how much he can make. I want to know if he is going to do that. Do you see the percentage here of the poll? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I have to go on mine. I thought it would have it on yours right here. Let me see. Yeah, I thought it would have it there. It's not. Okay, here. Oh, and just in case, people, from now on out, if anybody is going to be bringing up some falseness, I'm gonna have another phone right here to play back everything, so everybody can hear that there ain't no weird stuff coming from Team Hot Facts. We can put the truth out there and let it be what it is. All right. This is the official news channel of the gig economy. Now, look. There's people watching right now. I know a lot of you guys got a lot to say. Some people might say, well, you know how you interact and things. We don't know. Well, if you watch my interviews, when it comes to somebody being up on camera and we are doing it like that, people, it is all in all one thou wow. Never be afraid to speak your mind. Never be afraid to speak your mind. I want to know what people out there are making $30 an hour. I want to know what people out there are really trying the other apps, or they are driving the stake inside their own foot. Like, man, DoorDash is my whole life. I want to know what people are really app slaves. And a lot of people will not admit that they are app slaves, but we know who they are because they hit certain things on community posts when they vote, and then when you speak about certain things, they leave. Now, we gonna be on here for just maybe a few more minutes. I got one in. That's gonna change. That's gonna change. TFT. TFT. Here is another one right here, people, that understands different apps to use for where you work. He is someone that lives in what you would say is the sticks or the boonies. Okay. He is someone that understands how he's going to make the money for himself and not let nobody say that this is what it is in my area.
Here, ain't nobody gonna tell me how to make money in my area unless it's another driver in my area.
Where'd you go, TFT? You just went green and now you're black. Hold up. You can see TFT?
Well, it shows me up there.
Oh yeah, no. I see you on the other phone for some reason. On mine, you are not there. All right. Yeah, you were all the way good. But people, TFT lives in an area where you know, he has said many of times, if he has to drive 30 something miles out, because that's where he has to start to do work, because all right, he has a different zone from what you guys got to understand. He has like a 4 city giant together Pangea
Three
zone.
city.
So,
Three cities
so
all in one zone, one market, and it's freaking oh, what was it? Just under or just over 210 square miles.
that is his zone right there, people. Some of you guys might live in a place that's even more rural than where he is. And, to do the drop off might be like when you see some of these people say, I don't know why they're offering me like 20-mile rides. That's letting me know you might live to where that 20 miles, you are the closest thing as the middleman to do what you got to do for them. And I know myself, a lot of you guys are saying, well, we can't take those orders. A lot of you guys also have never taken those orders, and you don't know the appreciation that those people could be giving you
I can
because of
actually
where they
make a
live right there.
comment on that if you give me a sec.
Go ahead, TFT.
I've got 4 guys that I talk to on a regular that do nothing but rideshare, Uber and Lyft. They usually always hang out on the far north end of town, the closest to Madera, California,
Mm-hmm.
at the River Park Shopping Center here in Fresno. That's where they stay. That's where they start their shifts. Most of their rides that they get, and they're getting 50, 60, 80, $100 rides, just going to Madera, picking people up, bringing them to the River Park, do some shopping. And they do this all day, 5 days a week. They work like 8 to 10 hours a day, and they make way more money than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Which the reason why I get a little ticked off because, and I've been thinking about buying a new vehicle just so I can open up the ride share. But honestly, I don't really
Right.
want to do that because I don't really like people that much, you know. And I've seen a lot of the. I mean, I don't hate people, but I don't want to really be the chauffeur type.
Well,
That's never
some
really been
people
something in
get
my interest.
deactivated from rideshare, and it kills them on the picking up the food. Because once you get
Yeah.
cut from one, you're cut from the other one. And like you
Yeah,
said,
if you get
you don't
deactivated
like
on an Uber,
people
you
that
can't do
much.
nothing. But
Yeah, yeah.
me, I know my mentality and my personality. It takes a lot to tick me off and set me off.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. I've got a huge fuse to my temper.
Mm-hmm.
Few people know how to cut that real short, where they can just say one thing, and next thing you know, all I want to do is punch them in the face.
Right.
But I do my best, especially when I'm working, to make sure that doesn't happen. Because I'll be damned if I get deactivated because some Yahoo decided to push my buttons one day.
Right. Right.
And
And
I may
when you're dealing
deliver
with
to that
Uber,
guy.
it's 2 money streams on Uber. On
Yeah.
Uber, you took yourself, well, you have the package thing, the connect also. So you take yourself
Yeah.
away from all of that. But if you don't know that you don't like people like that, or if you know it, let me go ahead and take this back. If you know you don't like people like that, there is no way in the world you should be driving people in the car. You
Mm-hmm.
already put yourself at a higher chance to going off on somebody. You
Mm-hmm.
already put yourself in that situation. Brandon Diaz, what's up?
Let's see.
Oh,
How's
Brandon Diaz. My wife says she likes your comments when you're in the chats. I gotta tell you that she said she likes your comments. She says you're pretty funny in the comments. You make her laugh. Brandon Diaz said you're watching Hot Factor Robert Reese right now. So let me go ahead
as
and put that up.
somebody as somebody who's been in the security world for 20 years, I know what I can deal with, what I can tolerate, and what I can stand from people. And I know how to talk to people. Because 99% of the issues that I've ever had, and I'm talking about, we got people getting ready to darn near commit murder. And I've talked them down just with my words and my personality
Mm-hmm.
and the way I am. And it doesn't matter if they're black, white, pink, purple, yellow, polka dotted, don't make no difference. I can talk to people of any race, any color, any ethnicity, and get them to understand, calm down, relax. It's not worth it, you know. And they look at me and say, you know what? Thank you.
De-escalation.
And at the end of the day, even if they end up being in cuffs because they did end up doing a little something stupid, they end up thanking me because it could have been worse. And it most likely would have been worse had I not intervened. Yeah. Now, doing security as long as I have a huge list of people that have been arrested and convicted behind my reports and my testimony. Am I proud of that? No, I'm not, because I don't want anybody to get arrested. Of course, I don't want people to do stupid stuff either. Sometimes you don't have that option. You don't have that choice. You just got to deal with whatever the consequences somebody else decides to try and do. Now, how does that relate to our conversations about the gig world? It's honestly about the same thing. Every single one of us is our own independent, free-thinking person. We all choose to do whatever it is that we do. Like all those people who choose to steal orders so that the next driver gets it, and now they either got to sit and wait longer to have them remake the food, or the order gets canceled, or whatever. All the drivers who say, no, I'm not taking anything that doesn't have a tip. I'm not taking anything unless it's $10 a mile or whatever. Exaggerations of it, and I know, but it's you get the point. Every single one of us that choose to do these actions in a specific way, that's what's right for them, because that's the way they want to do it. Do I feel it's right? No, I don't personally. I'm 90% of the stuff out in the world, but that's me. Me and the way I do things. The way I do things works for me. May not work for you.
Right.
What works for me in my market of using 3, 4, 5 different apps to make my money? I got people here still to this day that all they do is just Uber or just DoorDash or just Spark or just Shipt, and they make enough money for them to make them happy.
Let me piggyback off that, TFT, because what you guys don't understand, he's breaking it down. Now, TFT, the DoorDash revolution, they know about what my wife does. They know the numbers, people. And now she's watching the content creators and the people get out there and talk. She's like, look what I'm doing. So that's why I'm showing more of her numbers. She wants to get involved more, but she wants to show you guys, in a different way. Look, this is my numbers right here. TFT knows that, like he said, you got to know what you're doing. She figured out that where we are now, she figured out that there is a separate zone in our zone that caters to just her. And she's been killing off of that sub zone in the original zone that she's has
got her
right
sweet
now.
Spot.
Yes.
She's got her sweet spot. Yes. Yesterday was one of the best days I've had since the pandemic. I hit $303. I put in a 10-hour day, so it's basically $30 an hour.
Okay.
Now DoorDash was online the whole time. Paused a lot of it because I did a couple of point pickup orders, a couple of Uber orders. I think I did one Spark order, but I kept DoorDash online the whole time. I'm pausing it periodically while I completed the other orders, just so I can have a record of exactly how long I was online and active for all the apps that I use. Because not every app tells me how long it took on an order or when I got it and this, that, and the other. Like point pickup doesn't track time. It just tracks the mileage and whatever order, how much the order was. That's it. Spark tracks time sort of, but I don't like their tracking method. Uber tracks all the time in the world from start to finish, but I don't really use Uber a whole lot because for me, Uber is not that great. I get like 5 orders a day. Tops, maybe 6 if I get lucky. Well, for me in my market, the best apps are DoorDash and Spark at the moment. For like fillers for downtime, you can use pretty much any app, but the best two are DoorDash and Spark.
Right.
That's where the most
See?
money will be made.
Yep. And over here
Now,
now,
I,
Instacart kicks in.
as a veteran Spark driver, because I signed up before they even came to my market
Mm-hmm.
by about a month, so I was online with I have the app, but nothing to pick up from. Um, I hate this triple load orders. I don't like them at all on the triple
Oh,
groceries.
I don't do any of them. All I do is shop and pay, and
No, I
that's
know, I
it.
know. I'm
I
just saying. I'm just throwing this
yeah.
out there for my personal reference, or for anybody that might be able to benefit from it, that may be watching in my market or surrounding markets that are
Right.
similar. The triple loads, they say that you'll make more money doing the triple grocery loads. It's like, well, in my market, honestly, I'm seeing the same money for a double load or less for more work.
Right.
It's like the only person making more money on that is Walmart.
Correct.
So I refuse to do anything other than standard double load or the GMB batches or shop and pay. Ideally, I don't even really
Yes.
want to deal with groceries anymore at all. Period. I only hunt for the shop and pays and the GMBs nowadays. But again, Spark is also no longer my main line. When it first came out, I was doing more Spark than anything else, doing just enough DoorDash to maintain my top dasher so that I can actually work with DoorDash here. Because in my
Mm-hmm.
market, like right now, if I pull it up, I think it just turned pink in my market for me. Pink, not busy, pink, where you could dash now and maybe get half an hour.
Oh yeah, you're
You
talking about the
know,
faint. You're talking about the faint look. Yeah,
yeah.
it's faint. Yeah.
It's the first little baby step from being gray. It's like if any dasher in my market right now saw that, they'd get maybe a half an hour. One driver, probably two, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's all they'd probably get for the next 6 to 7 hours. And so without Top Dasher, I can't work here with DoorDash. Some people will say, well, maybe you should go back and get a
Oh,
W 2. Well, maybe you're right. Maybe I should. But I like what I do.
or maybe I
And
should
I've
just have
always
top dasher
lived.
in my
Yeah.
area so I can work here.
And to be honest, 80% of the orders I receive are fantastic orders. My acceptance rating is only at 80% right now. Uh, and
All right,
I
no, no, no,
can't
all
seem to
right.
get
Check
it
this out.
above
You guys heard him say,
85 most of the
yeah, but you said
time.
only at 80% TFT. They think you at 80%. You are at you are at Mount Everest. They think 80%. You lose oxygen when you get up there, and you can have a heart attack and die at
Mm.
80%. That's what they
Oh,
think.
see, the
That's what they
highest
think.
I've ever
You said it's
been,
only at 80.
yeah, the highest I've ever been was like what, I think 92%, 93%. And I got on a really lucky string of orders that I was at 80%, and I just had a really good string of orders that jumped me all the way to 93. And I ended up getting dropped right back down to 80 again because
Mm-hmm.
I got a bad string that I don't know, a bunch of upside downs, a bunch of orders that I just will not take because I don't want to do it. Stores that I don't like because they're extremely slow and all the employees have bad attitudes. There's several restaurants here I will not go to. I don't care how much the order is
Yeah, but the
because the
benefit,
staff is
look at the benefit,
horrible.
people. For all of you that might be watching right now, you got to understand the benefit that TFT said. TFT said he got it up to like 90 something, and because of the orders that were coming in, he was able to still be at 80, but just reject those orders that he didn't want to take. That is a pro, not a con, people. If you know that you can throw off orders and you are still good, that's a That's something you may need to be looking into. And he went up to still be able to still be good. It's not like he was
Yeah.
good and went down to being trash. That's why I said
It's
our
like
drivers hurting
the
their
lowest
own game.
the lowest I get on my acceptance, if I'm just having a horrible day, getting bad orders left, right, and center, which does happen. It does happen. Lowest I've been was still only like 75 or 78%, somewhere around there. It's like when I got more than 3 orders that were horrible, you know what? I ended my dash and then changed location. And when I got to the new location, fired up, first thing I got was
Bingo.
a $25 order. Like yesterday, I had a decent lunch run. Started, I think it was 9 o'clock in the morning, ended at 1:40, I think it was 1:30, 1:40. DoorDash alone, I was $110, and I had $40 on point pickup. Nothing on Uber. Now that was what, 5 hours worth of work, $150. Yeah, I took a break, I had a little lunch with a buddy of mine, and went and saw a movie. I watched that Gran Turismo. Good movie, by the way. A lot better than I expected it to be. And that was like a 2.5 hour movie. I got out the theater. It was about just before 5:30, I think it was. And I decided to turn my apps on,
So
go do a little more work.
you did 150 in 5 hours. You did 150 in 5 hours.
Yeah.
See, a lot of you
I
guys
fired
are
up the
saying to
apps
make
after the movie
150.
theater. And I fired up the apps after the movie theater. The first thing that hit me was a $20 double for the same person. And then I got another $10 right after that. It was like my first hour was $30 in like 35 minutes of active, 35, 40 minutes of active time for 1 hour dash time. It was like
See, that's what I'm talking about.
5:22 to 5:30 is when I got my first order. 6:22 ish, I think it was. I dropped off the second order and had $30 in an hour.
Oh man.
Right after that, I
Hey,
got a catering or a
TFT,
large order program for
I don't mean
45
to
bucks.
do this, TFT. I don't mean to do this, TFT. For some reason, this charger is not having a charge. It went down to 2%. So
No worries, bro.
give me your final words right now so I can hit end.
Same as always.
I'm gonna have to end the
If you're
stream.
gonna do this
So
job,
give those
it's
final
the same
words.
as always, man. If you got to do this job, do it right. Use your equipment. Don't half-ass shit. Take care of business. Make your money. Don't listen to everybody. Pick and choose what you listen to. Pick and choose what you take and assimilate into your own business. Other than that, stay safe, stay hydrated, and go make your money.
All right, people, you heard that from TFT. He made 150 in 5 hours. We hear people saying to make 150, they were out there for 14 hours in one day. You do the math on how many hours he saved. He saw a movie that was 2.5 hours something long, and he was able to do that. Don't hurt yourself. Sometimes you got to treat yourself. Erase some time and get back out there. We out of time right now. I'm going to check back with you guys. Thanks for joining in, TFT. I'm about to hit end. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Okay, good to go. Yeah. Okay. In broadcast. Hold up. There it is. Did it end? In my broadcast.